defining and constructing complementary and supplementary angles, and then using that information to find for the missing variable. You may or may not want to get out a piece of paper because you're going to take notes in a different form today, different way, and thinking more and more how things are done at the high school level, and knowing that's where you're heading. So I want you just to kind of get into that habit. And at the high school level, you have to take your own notes. They don't, nobody in the math department, I don't think, hands you notes just to fill in the blank. So we'll just step it up a little bit different for you guys. Okay, so complementary and supplementary. What do you know already about complementary angles? Raise your hand. Somebody give me some information. What do you know about complementary angles? Never heard the term before? Never heard it before? Okay. Then let me tell you what I know. In complementary angles, the sum of their angles, oops, wrong there, equals 90 degrees. The sum of the angles must be equal to 90 degrees. So basically, if I had this and I said this one is 30 degrees, then what would the other one be? Because altogether they have to equal 90. What's the other one going to be there?
60 degrees.
This one here would have to be 60 degrees. Okay? Okay? We might even have a 50 degree and a 40 degree. Anything where the sum of the two angles is equal to 90 degrees. They would be classified as complementary angles. Okay? Okay, the other one that I mentioned that you're going to be dealing with is called supplementary. Have you ever heard that term before? Supplementary angles. And I can't believe you haven't heard it at all because I'm thinking in IXL you should have done some of this already. Complementary and supplementary angles. Okay, supplementary angles are similar to 90 degree or to the complementary angles. The only thing different is the sum of the angle. Supplementary angles, what was that? Very good. The sum of their angles equals 180 degrees. Okay. Now you might say, well, how am I going to keep that straight? Looking at the two definitions, is there anything that you can do when you look at those to help you remember them? Just looking at them, most of you are going, nope, doesn't make sense to me. Well, what I do, and I'm kind of a strange person, we know that. But look at the word complementary starts with a C, the word supplementary starts with an S, and I think about the alphabet. Aaron?
Complementary has a complement in it, and 90 is like a perfect 90-degree angle, so you're complementing a perfect 90 degrees.
Okay, that might work. That might work, okay, for you. For me, think of the alpha, and I think of the numerical. I think of my number line. Which comes first on the number line, 90 or 180? 90. Okay? Which comes first in the alphabet, the C or the S?
C.
The C. So if I know that, then I know complementary is 90. Supplementary is 180. And the thing is, if you know one of them, then the other is the opposite, or just the other one. So if you can remember one, is it going to help you with both? I mean, that's pretty much what you got to do. All right? Okay. Now, if I look at that, what I said we're going to do, we're going to be classifying them. We're also going to be constructing them. You did constructing of angles with your fair game review. You constructed angles with the adjacent and vertical. Okay? Now you're going to be constructing angles with complementary and supplementary. All right? So in order to construct, say, start out with complementary, because we said that's the smaller root. If you start out with a straight line, okay, and we know this, I don't even need to be that big, do I? So this is going to be my right angle. Whoa. Okay, got a right angle. So you start out with a right angle, because you know they have to add up to 90 degrees. Okay? And say you were told to let's say you have been asked to two complementary angles where one of them is a 41-degree angle. Okay? So I've got a right angle. I can take my protractor then. Bring it over. Pretty good right angle. Okay? And what I say, I needed a 41-degree angle. So I'll put my line up, my dot up there. Okay? And then get it out of my way. Use your straight edge then. Okay. And I know this one here is 41 degrees. So what is the size of the other one? If one of them is 41, what is the other one going to be, Zane?
49.
49. How do you know that, Zane?
Because the right angle is 90 degrees, and 90 degrees minus 41 is 49.
Okay. So he said simply take 90 degrees minus the 41 degrees, and you get your remaining 49 degrees. Okay? Is this one going to be, do you think this is going to be a difficult thing to do? No. No. Pretty simple. Pretty basic here. Okay? If you are asked to create two supplementary angles, what are you going to start out with? What are you going to start out with before you start it? In order to start and draw two supplementary angles, what will you begin with, Aaron? Begin with a straight line, because I know a straight line is 180 degrees. And I know that my supplementary angles must equal 180 degrees. Okay. Now, somebody give me a angle that they want to use. What do you want to create? 129. So at some point you need to decide this is where my vertex is. So on your 180 degrees, come up with your vertex. Once you got your vertex, take your protractor. Set it up on your line. What size did you say again, Landon?
129.
He said 129 degrees. Oops. Okay. 129 degrees. Use your straight edge then, because you don't have this cute little board. Once you get your straight edge, draw your other one. And I know this is 129 degrees. So how do I figure out what the angle is that I'm missing? Darton? Take 180 degrees minus 129 degrees, and you end up with 51 degrees. So the missing angle in this case is 51 degrees. Okay? Constructing, and we would call this one, or these two are now supplementary. I cannot write today. Okay? Fist to 5. How do you feel about this? Okay? What if I said one angle classify angles 1 and 2. I have two angles. One is 15 degrees and one is 75 degrees. Classify. What do I mean by classify? Figure out what type of angles they are. Correct. So classify. Are they complementary or are they some supplementary? So I know whether you are getting what we're doing. Complementary, we're going to say, is thumbs up. Supplementary, thumbs down. Okay? That way I can see, and I don't have to get out a whiteboard. We can do it really quick. All right, so which is it? Are these two complementary or they're supplementary? Showdown. Give me thumbs up or thumbs down. What's it going to be?
What is thumbs up again?
Thumbs up is complementary. Thumbs down is supplementary. Okay? Everybody agrees. Yes, they are complementary. Okay? Give me two names. They got to be one or the other, though.
Or 53 and 27.
Classify them. The minute I looked at that, now, we got to be careful. I'm going to leave it like this for right now. Classify this, complementary or supplementary. Thumbs up or thumbs down is supplementary. Up for complementary, down for supplementary. Showdown. Okay. Savannah, how do you know that they are supplementary? Okay. There we go. All you have to do to figure it out is add them together. 153 plus 27 and I get 180 degrees, I know for certain I'm not making a guess. I know they are. There was kind of a clue on this too. One is an obtuse angle. So with one of them being obtuse, then you know that they may be complementary, or supplementary, sorry. They may be supplementary. What if I gave you, classify those two angles. One is 113 degrees and one is 79 degrees. There's a reason for it. Can you please do me a favor? Put your finger right here in front of your mouth so it will shut and stay that way. Everybody got a decision? Everybody knows what they want to say? Let me ask you this. Are these two complementary? Class?
No.
Are they supplementary?
No.
No. Why not, Hayden?
Because they equal, if you add them together, they equal over 180.
What do they equal when you add them together?
192.
192 degrees. So these are neither. Neither. And Caden, the reason why I wanted you to keep your vocals off was because I wanted to know that people were actually adding it together and not making an assumption. Okay? I did that on purpose. Right?
When I first saw that,
What'd you say?
so when I first saw the 79, I was like, that's not right. When I first seen the 113 and the 79, I was like, nah, it's over.
Good. I wanted you to be able to see things that way. Okay, well what if I know, oh, that's not a very good line, terrible line. Oh, give me this one, I like it better. Okay, what if I know because I said we're going to start off by classifying, we're going to be able to construct, and then we're going to have to use information we've got to find the missing, right? We've kind of done that a little bit already. But what if you see something like this and and my drawing isn't going to match what it is, so let's try this. Be pretty close. And I said, find the value of X. Could you find the value of X given what you have right there? How am I going to do that, Mr. Wesley? What do you notice about these angles?
Make an 180 degree angle.
Correct. They have to equal 180 degrees. So how do I set this up to find the value of X?
You would divide it by 4 or subtract 4, then divide it by 4.
What am I, tell me the equation you're going to start with, bud. You want to popcorn out? Okay. I'm going to popcorn out. Alice, what am I going to do?
Since it's 180 degrees, you're gonna divide.
Nope. What, Matthew? What am I going to do, bud?
3x plus x plus Nick plus 4, or minus 4.
And what do I do with that? It has to be what? Equal to?
180.
There we go. Nice job. So can I find the value of x? And eventually, yes, I've got to do some division, but I needed to get the equation set up first. So what am I going to do to find that value of x? Just stuff we've been doing all along. What am I going to do, Mr. Zane?
You will add the 4 to both sides.
Okay, he says plus 4, so that leaves these two are 0. 3x plus x equals 176. What do I do now? What am I going to do now, Michaela?
Wouldn't you simplify the x and 3x to 4x?
So I actually have 4x equals 176. I totally agree.
Wouldn't it be 180? It would be 184, not
Oh, I subtracted, didn't I? Thanks for catching it.
There's 1 and 4.
Thank you. I should have known that. Okay, now what do I do?
Divide.
Divide both sides by 4. Good. So what is the value of x? What is the value of x, Kenai?
46.
46, okay. Now, I found the value of x. Can I find the value of the two angles now? Sure. How am I going to do that? What do I do now that I've got 46? I know what x is. What do I do with that piece of information? What am I going to do with that piece of information? Paige? Yeah, I'm going to substitute that value up here into 3x. So 3 times 46, what's the measurement of this angle now? 138 degrees. What's the measure of the other angle now? If I plug in the 46 minus 4, this becomes a 42 degree angle, and it is not drawn to scale. Because that, if I measured it, is probably closer to a 30-degree angle. But you understand the process to get and how you can take what you know to find those others, okay? Questions on what we're doing today? Do you need one more, just to let you do one more, or do you want your assignment? It's your call. All right, I'm good with that. Your assignment today. Because you're going to be constructing, classifying, and finding the value of x. You're going to go into your, this is 7.2 exercise. And it's going to be the textbook supplement that I gave you, 280 to 281. 1 through 5.